Today we're looking at the American alligator and ways of improving your art. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Bill Flowers. Today we're drawing the alligator. This is based on an experience I had while I was in America where I got face to face with an alligator, and it was a great experience. So this wonderful animal I feel needs to be drawn, and I want to share this drawing with you so you guys can improve your art skills too. So get out whatever you make a mark with. You know, if you get there and doodle while you're talking on the phone, it's that sort of thing. Just take it cool, casual, relaxed, and just have a bit of a go while I show you some easy steps on how to draw. Alright, drawing the alligator. We're going to start off with a little bit of an oval like that and an oval like that. I'm just pressing very, very gently on the, in fact I'm hardly pressing at all, I'm just letting the pencil just go there. I'm going to do some connecting lines here. This one's going to be sort of curved that way a little bit. This one's going to be curved this way a little bit. And doing another bracket down here. So here's another bracket here, a line there. Now about here, another circle, a teardrop on its side there, and we're almost ready to start marking out the mouth. So like a smiley face bracket here, and another one here. I'm going to do one going down like that. Continue there, and we're going to do sort of a couple of lines like that. Here we're going to do a little bracket there, so the top lip, I suppose you'd say, top part of the mouth overhangs. We're going to have a nose here. A bracket like that, and a small bracket going up like that. See, we're getting it marked out very quickly, aren't we? After this it's just going to be the details. A couple of brackets here. Now we have to put some teeth on him here. Some nice big sparkly teeth. Each one of these is going to be like a letter V, which is rounded a bit at the end. See that? So it's not a sharp letter V. It's not quite a letter U either, so it's that sort of a shape. Now, two big ones there, another big one there, and maybe a couple of smaller ones here, and one hanging out like that. Now here, we're going to have the same going up like this, one of those shapes there. So it's going to be funny along here. We've got to have a few going up like this, going there. These ones here, we're going to round there, one more there, and the rest are all going to be hanging down like this. Just let's do another big one here, or slightly bigger one. Do a thick, heavy bracket there. That's where the nose is going to be. I'm going to do some very gentle brackets like this. And now we're going to thicken this line up here. So now I'm pressing heavier. I might make this a little bit heavier here, a bit bigger here. I'm making that heavier. Just bumps like that. Now I'm going to make the eye look like it's round in there. Now watch carefully what I'm going to do here. A bracket going across here like this. And I'm going to, like the letter U there, round off the edge there, and here, and I'm just going to go over this bit here like this, and here a little letter V, shade that in. Under here we want to do some wrinkles too. So the texture of this guy is that he's got lots of little tiny, you can imagine minute letter O's here. Got lots of tiny little spots on him. Here, start to scale up a little bit. So I'm doing sort of rough scaly texture there. See what I did? Just little like brackets going like that. So you can do that. I'm not really worried too much about getting every scale perfect. And here I'm going to do the brackets, the scales around like this. There we go. Do another bracket there. Here on the neck, a bit of a grid pattern. Each one of these you can sort of round off a bit, see, like that. Still trying to keep that grid pattern, but yeah, just making it look a bit more organic, a little bit less mechanical. By doing here on the ends, you can do a bit more like this, because as it goes around, these bits get narrower. Now shading, let's get on to some shading, and I might come back to some detail. First of all, I'll put a bracket here, shade under there like that. The other thing I'm going to do is here, I'm going to do like a skinny letter U laying on its side like this, and I'm going to shade all this. Now a shady bit just here. I'm going to shade in amongst the teeth here like this. Makes those teeth really stand out. Now a bit of a line there, and under here shade a little bit. So teardrop is where the ear is. I'm going to a bracket here, we're going to shade, or make this bit here really heavy, just do a little bit of shade like that. Under the eye, and shade there. See how I sometimes do that instead of shading. When you do reptiles, sometimes instead of shading, you just sort of do sort of little scales. Now the eye here, I might do that with the eye like this. That eyelid, a bit of shade there, a bit of shade up here, and maybe the same thing just going over like that. Some gentle shading here. They seem to be very light in colour, just on their top lip there, and just under their chin here. They're very light in colour, so I'm hardly touching, I'm just basically letting the pencil rest on the page, very gently colouring this in like this. Leaving a light bit there, and the same under here, leaving a light bit there, and we'll make this darker. So more scales here. Now I've got a bit of shading in. A lot of them are very dotty there. Sometimes got a nice little almost yellowy look there with sort of very dark dots over it, which I think look pretty cool. See, now I'm doing shading, but we're using little brackets. That also helps describe this shape. So if you do come down to the mouth, just little lines like that. All these little extra lines, I don't think they look messy, even though they're fairly scribbly. I think they just add to the texture. Make those scales around there. Now let's put a shine in the eye. Let's put a little oval there. Going to put a reverse letter C around that. Colour that in. I colour this side. I colour all the top bits in, and so the lights that are coming down, illuminating there a little bit. So there, again, hardly even touching the paper, just very gently colouring it in like that. Now I'm going to, just here, even though that's yellow, we need, I think, to make this line here twice as thick. Now we've just got one thick line and just goes straight to light, so we've got to break that up a little bit, and we'll do that with a little bit of shading. So I'm almost doing a zigzaggy line, but not quite. There, see how that's sort of broken up a little bit? Maybe go a little bit over that. So now it still looks like there's light under there, a light colour, but it also looks like there's shadow there. So right here we need to go very dark indeed. Now also here, it's one of those little tricks, you know, if you're going to have a line, if there's light coming down underneath that, the underneath lines, the bottom lines, are always just that bit heavier. So I'm going to darken in along the top lip here a bit too. I'll just do the occasional curve up like that. So it heavies that line or gives it some weight, but it also makes it look a little bit like scales, like texture. Wow, I think he's a fine looking alligator. Just darken that a little bit. Sort of, there's some blank bits here. A bit more shade, a little bit more of that. So I guess I'm doing a mixture of shading and texture. A few more dots. This looks a bit blank, so I'll give this another little bit of a shade. And there's our alligator portrait. Hope you guys have enjoyed this how to draw and maybe learnt a little bit about wildlife at the same time. This is what this channel's about. Learning about wildlife, learning about art and improving your art skills. So if you've enjoyed this, you know, leave a comment, let me know what you think, subscribe and stay tuned for some more interesting videos on wildlife, on creatures, on how to draw.